Sports Tonight is back again. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. It's good to have you join us. I'm Austin Okonakwan. We will continue our look at the Powerlifting Championship in Lagos. It ended today. Of course, Team Nigeria emerged overall winners with 42 medals. I'll give you the breakdown of the medals that they won, but there's no touching the para-powerlifters in the country. Remember, Nigeria is topped first in the world, #1 undisputed champion. And at the para-powerlifting championship in Lagos, they proved it once again that they are indeed the undisputed champions. We will talk about it tonight on the program and listen to some officials talk about different ways that para-powerlifting can be developed in the country. And remember, these are special athletes. Yes, athletes that are telling us that impossible is nothing. They're telling us a beautiful story that when you are down, you can rise up once again. So I love the story of the para-powerlifters. We'll talk about them on the show tonight. They're having a dinner and award ceremony right now, right here in Lagos, just to say well done to some of those guys that did so well. So hopefully we're going to get some of them to come around, talk to us about the exploits that they did at the championship that took place here in Lagos. Also on the show, we'll take a look at updates coming from the 2020 CHAN qualifiers. We'll tell you what's going on. There were games that went down today, rescheduled fixtures in the Nigeria Professional Football League. What happened? We will give you all of the details on the show tonight. Big night in the English Premier League. Liverpool, they're taking on Leicester City. If they win tonight, they go 7 points clear. What a story we are already getting. Surprise, surprise. Did you ever think that Newcastle will come back from a goal down? They considered that goal just under 25 seconds. They came back to beat champions Manchester City by 2-1. Impossible is nothing in this world of sports. And then Manchester United, they had to dig deep. They had to fight to pick a point against Burnley. That's what's going down in the English Premier League. We'll talk about it big time on the show tonight, Sports Tonight, on your award-winning sports-loving Channels Television. Let me bring you into the discussion. I want to hear what you are talking about. Remember, we are still saying a prayer for Emiliano Sala. What a story. We don't like it. We're just hoping that a miracle can happen. If we can even just get that sharing news that something good came out of it, because the underwater search is continuing, and they found cushions by the riverside. So they are believing that cushions from the missing plane, after being found, that they are edging closer to discovering where Sala and those two other persons might just be. So we'll continue to pray for Sala on the show tonight. You can be part of the program. Yes, you can on Twitter, our channels_sports, Facebook channels-sports. You can send us an email, sportstonight@channelstv.com. Doesn't end there. All our top stories can be viewed on our website, channelstv.com, and on YouTube /channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com and download the Channels TV app for your iPad, your iPhone, your BlackBerry, your iOS, your Windows phones, and your Android phones. You know why? I want you to be part of the program tonight, because so much is going down in our world of sports. I have updates from the English Premier League. I'll give you updates from the rescheduled fixtures, results from the rescheduled fixtures in the Nigeria Professional Football League. There's also action coming from the 2020 CHAN, and of course, PSG. Not a good story. They confirmed that Neymar will be out for 10 weeks. Let's see if Paris Saint-Germain can push without the charismatic Neymar. That's about the outlook of the show tonight. So wherever you are in the world watching us, welcome to the Fun Factory. It's the Sports Tonight on your award-winning, sports-loving Channels Television. It's a Wednesday night, so Joseph Mukuzi is with us in the studio. Joseph, it's good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Yeah, Austin, what a wonderful experience. I must say, pleasure always to be here. And great result for Rangers. So excited about them. And the second victory on the bounce, unbeaten so far, just lost a game this year, and you know, no matter how 1-0 is, it is still a 1-0 victory. I'm so happy for them. Not so much about being a fan. The fact that they kept the momentum going, and they're on the continent. We just hope that they'll take it to the continent, because we really need that coefficient back. We need to get back to, you know, to have our multiple slots for for continental competition. But I'm so excited. The league is picking up so many activities. We'll have time. We'll discuss it.
So if we have time, we're going to discuss it. Just before I get into the discussion with Sala, let me let you know information that you can use in the English Premier League. Live results just in the 3rd minute. Sadio Mane has scored for Liverpool. Look, this is what it is. When you see the guys chasing you that can give you problems, they are not winning. It motivates you to go on to win.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Liverpool, they haven't lost, you know, in 32 games at home. So, I mean, it's massive. They really want to make sure that they really, you know, can make it count this time, win this match and go 7 points clear. I know they are extremely determined. It's been a long time they won the Premier League. All guns will be blazing. They really need this victory badly. You know, Newcastle did them a great favor yesterday by beating Manchester City. Nobody saw that coming. You know, but I know that more goals will come. I expect Salah to get on the score sheet as well. You know, there is no way Leicester is going to escape. Although, if you look at their form in December, they were able to get victories against Chelsea and Manchester City. But this time out is at Anfield. Then definitely it will be very, very difficult. The Giant players, they love the big games, but Liverpool will definitely be fired up and want a result.
Of course, they will be fired up. It's all about taking chances. So that will really get our attention on the show tonight. We'll give you live updates coming from the English Premier League. Chelsea are in action. After seeing Arsenal win yesterday, Chelsea needs to win against AFC Bournemouth. But you know Bournemouth can be very stubborn.
Very stubborn.
The destiny killer. So Chelsea is away to Bournemouth. There's also Southampton taking on New Crystal Palace. And then Tottenham Hotspur taking on Watford. It's the English Premier League. Arguably the world's most exciting league football. So we'll monitor it. We'll let you know what's going on in that one. But let me give you updates as regards the missing plane and Emiliano Sala. An underwater search for footballer Emiliano Sala's plane will take place after cushions were found on a beach. According to the British Air Accidents Investigation Branch, the AAIB, the cushions were discovered near Suttonville on Cotentin Peninsula by French authorities. Following this, the AAIB has identified an area for 4 square nautical miles for a search. The AAIB also said that due to weather and sea conditions, an underwater search is not expected to start until the end of the week and will take up to 3 days. It's over a week, Joseph, and at this point we're just saying, let's just see something.
Yeah, what a shame. It's so sad, you know. Right now, I really feel sad for the family. You know, they want some form of closure. The sight of the body, you know, something to let them know that this is it and that this is, you know, the unfortunate is there, this is the body, so that they can at least lay him to rest. At this stage, I mean, it's hard to imagine if he could be found alive, you know, but very, very sad, you know, what has happened. And, you know, I just hope that players have started donating towards that cause, you know, the search effort as well. I just hope that they'll be able to get some form of breakthrough, you know, in the search. Let's see something even if it is debris, body parts, you know, it's so sad to even imagine that this is, you know, what the whole thing has, you know, amounted to. But anything just to bring some form of closure, because it will play on the minds of the parents if they don't ever get something, you know, get to see him and lay him to rest. It will continue to hurt them. It will make it even more painful. I just hope that the authorities would do what is needed. You know, of course, the weather would always hamper. You know, I just hope at some point they will have some form of breakthrough, and let's have something, and let's lay him to rest, and let the football fraternity world just try to get over this total misfortune. Really, really very sad. Yeah, you could tell it was really difficult for Cardiff last night when they played Arsenal. You know, the whole world, everyone is saddened by this. Sala's sister, she's not giving up. She says, look, let's keep searching. That she believes that he's alive. And that's what you're talking about. Because they just need to see something to, you know, to move on. And if they don't, they'll continue to believe, you know, that's something. And they might even get ridiculous. They might feel that he's alive somewhere. You know, so they really need to have evidence to show that indeed it's over. You know, so that they can grieve. It helps the grieving process, so that it can kick in. But right now, imagination, so many thoughts are still out there. They've not really come to terms with what has happened, because there is nothing to show in terms of evidence that it's history, you know, that what has happened, you know. So it's still, I just hope that they will make some form of breakthrough and let the family have closure. not just the family, but the entire football world. It's really a tragedy.
I know, sad. Let me give you updates from the powerlifting championship that is taking place right here in Lagos. We told you, we've always told you, now you need to believe that Nigeria, the champions of the world, undisputed, and at the powerlifting championship, Nigeria emerged overall winners once again, winning 42 medals, 20 gold, 15 silver, and 7 bronze. Joseph, these are persons confined to a wheelchair, yet unstoppable.
Yeah, disability is nothing. It's a mental thing. Once you believe that you can do something, why not? You can. You know, I was just reading the results earlier. It was, we were just taking turns and winning gold. It was almost a natural thing, I must say.
At some point, it's 3 Nigerians going for gold, silver, and bronze.
It was a boring report, so to speak, but you must give credit to these lads. They're really, really well determined, fired up, you know, to achieve great results. And the year in, year out, you see them churn out this result. It's not a natural occurrence. They put a lot of energy, a lot of strength into this, a lot of hard work into this, in spite of the fact that with limited encouragement from the authorities, you see them and year in, year they're able to achieve this result. I just hope that we'll be able to have structure in place, you know, to encourage more of them to get into, you know, para-lifting, and also to cater for their welfare. Because, I mean, I was talking to somebody earlier in the day that they still remain the brightest prospects to win medals. I mean, when you look at other sports that we're going for in Tokyo, with the exception of maybe...
For us, that's the reason why we follow the Olympics.
With the exception of maybe wrestling, and maybe if football is able to put its acts together. Other sports are merely going there with due respect to them, you know, to get exposure. Because so on so many occasions, they've not won anything, really. But in terms of para-lifting, it's almost certain.
It is.
It's almost certain.
And you know why I love this? I love this because, for instance, Lovetta Bokin, she's the one lifting right now. She says winning a gold medal has transformed her life. Look, Joseph, she hasn't gone out of the country to compete, but because this competition is being done at home, she had an opportunity to compete, and now she's a gold medalist. And she's saying it that my life will never be the same. Just hearing that alone, she can motivate other persons.
Absolutely, you know, their success has you know, boomerang effect. It has, you know, exponential effect in the entire society, inspiring those who are going through similar challenges. That the world is not the end of the world, and you don't have to go into begging. You can do something with your strength. You can be productive in spite of you cannot be a liability. So it is now, you know, the responsibility of the authorities to give them necessary encouragement, put them on payroll, you know, provide necessary facilities, and ensure that they don't lack. Some of them that want to go into education, provide necessary scholarship, you know, required for them to acquire, you know, skills. They can be useful. I mean, I was just going out today. I saw some you know, affected individuals begging. I said, if only our authorities have structure in place to assist these lads. I mean, success of this nature would inspire those who are on the street, thinking that begging is the only way of making, you know, a living, or, you know,
or somebody who is just about to give up. So something miserable happened. You lost your arm or your legs, and you're thinking, what use am I again?
And even to able-bodied individual who have all their, you know,
and yet
organs intact, and they have all manner of issues, and they are contemplating. You know, when they see pictures of people they are relatively, with due respect, you know, they have physical ability, they have challenges, and yet they are able to achieve success. It's really a source of encouragement to them not to give up in life. So really, our authorities really have to do a lot to ensure that they get the necessary support to be able to take care of themselves.
Awesome. I totally agree. And just in case you're thinking that these guys are local champions, you're wrong.
No, they're not.
They are world record breakers. Lucy Ejike, world record breaker. Bose Omolayo, world record breaker. Yakubu Adisoko, world record breaker. Kehinde Paul, world record breaker. Abdulaziz Ibrahim. I'm talking about power lifters. They have found a reason to make themselves happy. And at this powerlifting championship, we had another opportunity to say to ourselves as a country that we can develop the sports. And that's what the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Adeshola Olushade, confirmed. He's excited at the prospects of the Lagos International Powerlifting Championship, and he says it has served as an avenue to discover more powerlifters in the country. It's not just Olushade that is speaking from the angle of Nigeria, the head of development at the World Powerlifting Sport Technical Committee. So you see, we've brought in international persons. Mr. Kamaruzaman Kadri, he has commended Nigeria and the development that we have achieved in powerlifting. So let's listen to them, and then when we come back, we will see ways that we can sustain what we have achieved at this championship.
What we have done through this competition is to bring in newer athletes to join the older ones to compete. So I also see it as a process for succession, as the older athletes may soon get out of fitness and capability. They will easily be replaced seamlessly by the emerging athletes. And it also to showcase the fact that we have abundant supply of power lifters that are able to compete favorably in this competition. This is a stepping stone to greater sponsorship or hosting. With the success of this, we know in very near future, the country will be considered to host major championships that will enable our athletes to further improve on their competence. Remember, this competition was preceded by training program for our coaches and referees. What this means is that we are now having referees and coaches that are trained and are able to officiate in order to enhance the grassroots development of this sport in Nigeria.
As I said to all my friends, my organizing chairman and the vice chairman, I told them last time that they need to do something small, and actually my expectation is wrong, and I thought that this small, actually it is already big. Even though the number is quite small, 82 athletes, but your performance, you get things prepared, I think is very high standard. I think what you have, the facilities that you have, is a first class. That is where, when you even Paralympic Games level or even World Championship level, the equipment is very high standard. It's same, because what we're going to use in the Paralympic Games and also the World Championships and other major championships, we will be using it here. So it's nothing low or below than world standard.
So that's it. That's the head of the development at the World Powerlifting. And he says, look, what you have here is world class. Look, when we say let's put together competition sometimes, it's not just to show that we can. It is to actually do the right things, see the need for infrastructure development.
You know, you're talking about 360 degrees development of the sports. You're looking at, facilities. You're looking at, coaching, technical aspects. Because you cannot, the way you coached 10 years ago, I mean, you can't use the same strategy or technique to coach now. The world has gone scientific, and there is sports science as well, so you have to factor that in. And those who teach those that are coming through the line need to imbibe the latest knowledge and technology required to develop an Olympic athletes. And that is what they've done with the efforts they've put together, and which is fantastic. The competitions of this nature, what it does is that it gives birth to fresh talent as well. Because if you look at the names of those who have been, they are the ones who have been there for 10 years, 15 years. But when you have competitions of this nature, it brings forth, you have to keep the line of production going. That's how you stay on top. You don't just stay on top with the ones you've always had. You stay on top by ensuring that as they are aging, you have replacement for them. That's what we've not been able to achieve with athletics. We have great athletes, but the issue is that the line of production has been cut off by bad administration. And as a result of that, what we have is that we are left, we are stuck with the ones we've always known, Blessing Okagbare, Blessing Okagbare, and Blessing Okagbare, same thing. And
small, you just hear Esther Brume, you get Tobilola Amusan.
So you realize our major medal hope still remains the ones we've always known, because there is the line of production.
Meanwhile, don't go far. Crossover to South Africa, at every major competition you're hearing about a new name.
That's what I'm saying. So if you don't have that line of production going, it's just a matter of time you go into extinction. So now that they have programs like this coming up, of course, fresh talents will come up, and with the new coaching technique, you begin to nurture them immediately to their prime, so that when we are talking of future competitions, talking of the Olympics coming up, it won't be the usual names. Some will be coming through the ladder, getting necessary exposure as a result of international competition, learning from the ones they are looking at, because you learn by just looking at, you know, and you get inspired as well. You know, so that since this one can do it, I can also do it. Age will quite naturally will catch up with those who have been there, and then the younger generation will come in, and you know, so that's the way you grow a sport. You don't just grow it by just, you know, leaving those who have been there. Is to keep that line of production going. That's how Brazil stays on top as one of the top teams in the world in football. That line of production, young talents are always coming through. So we really need to focus on that.
I'll get back to you. So that's it for tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, I'll give you updates from the 2020 channel. We'll talk women's football and, of course, the English Premier League. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.